How long have you played baseball for?
I've played baseball since I was 4.
And have you had, or what is the most impactful injury that you've had?
I tore my labrum in my throwing arm, so I had to get surgery on my shoulder.
And what was the cause of this?
Trying to overthrow to impress the radar gun.
Were your coaches pushing you?
Yes.
And why do you think they were pushing you?
There's a couple games this summer where I got up to like 105, 110 pitches, which like a usual high school game's like 90 to 95.
And like when did you start noticing, or what symptoms did you like notice?
I had like shoulder pain obviously, and then all of a sudden my velocity just dropped like a rock. Like it went from me sitting like 86, 87 to like 73, and we knew that wasn't normal. So then I got the MRI and it said that I tore my labrum. I needed surgery.
Did you try to play through it?
Yeah, I played the like last 3 weeks of the season through the injury. I just didn't pitch, but I was still playing in the field.
And like what was the length? What's like the long-term length to get back to full strength?
I'm currently on month 7 of rehab, and they said that my release date for me being 100% is May 15th.
Like if you could like go back and like prevent and like not like get injured, but what would you do to like prevent?
I'd probably tell my coaches I need to come out of the game after I got to like 95, 100 pitches, because throwing's not a natural motion as it is.
Yeah.
So obviously throwing that much, it's not good for the arm, and that's what did it.
So like, are you on track for full recovery, or will you always have like shoulder issue?
I'll always have shoulder issues. It's gonna take me longer to get loose. It's gonna take me longer to warm up, and then I gotta make sure I can get back to where I was velocity wise, but we still can't test that yet because I can't pitch yet. So
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. How'd you get into coaching?
I loved playing baseball. I love sports, and it's kind of what I was always going to do whenever I was done playing was coach. I don't really know. It's kind of happened.
How many years have you coached?
This is my 13th year at Fishers. I was 2 years at Anderson University, 1 year at Pendleton Heights, 1 year at Hamilton Southeastern Junior High, so 17.
How many throwing injuries have you seen coming from trying to overthrow?
Coming from trying to overthrow, I don't know the answer to that question. We probably had like 4 or 5 arm injuries over our 13 years here.
In your opinion, how important is it to throw hard in baseball?
I think it's very important in the current state of baseball. It's kind of velo's kind of ruling everything right now. So for guys to get a chance to play at the college level or even beyond that, I think it's very, very important.
Do you think throwing hard comes with a possible risk?
Absolutely, yeah. There's definitely a risk to it, but there's just as many success, or probably way more success stories than injuries. So I think it's worth it.
As a coach, do you think young kids, like high school athletes, try to impress coaches or scouts? Do you think that makes them have a higher chance of getting injured?
I think it's possible. I think the guys that prepare themselves and are doing all their work leading up to a showcase or throw hard in front of people, they do it correctly and they're prepared and do their strengthening and all that. I think it's okay. But guys that come in, try to throw hard after not doing something for a couple months or a couple weeks can lead to injury.
As a coach, do you take into heavy consideration how hard a kid can throw during tryouts or evaluating a player?
We do. It is a big consideration, depending on what position they play. But for them to be a pitcher, we want them to throw as hard as possible. In certain positions on the diamond, it definitely comes into effect. If a guy's like really, really fast, then they don't have to throw as hard. But it is a big deal for how we evaluate.
If you could tell a kid one thing to try to prevent injuries from throwing hard, what would you say?
Do your prep work. Prepare, be in the weight room a lot, get stronger in your lower half. Do all your prep work with your arm care. Be consistent about it, religious about it, make sure you're doing it. Your follow-up work to rehab after throwing a lot. And if they're prepared and building up the strength, then I think they'll be just fine.
Do you think velo is poisoning the game of baseball, or do you think it's making it better?
That's a great question. I think it's kind of poisoning a little bit at the higher level because of all the strikeouts and specialization and being like a one-inning guy. It's just changed the game a little bit. I think it's helping the younger generation because it's giving them something to strive for and a chance to play at the next level if they can throw hard.
What do you think the most common injury is in youth players? Arm injury.
Probably the most common is just tendonitis, just being sore and needing to rest a little bit. I think there's an overuse to it, but we've seen a lot more Tommy John type stuff. We have not ever seen that. Knock on wood. That's a good question. We get a lot of tendonitis issues that are just kind of minor, and they need to take care of themselves and rest a little bit. But the big injuries have been kind of elbow strains. We haven't had many shoulders.
In your program, what do you have your pitchers do to prevent injury?
We do a lot of plyo care. We do. They need to be in the weight room. Rehab stuff, arm care stuff, J-bands. What else do we do? Medi-balls, running. We just do a lot of stuff to prepare their bodies for the strain that it's going to take to throw.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.